Hi everybody, I'm back with my not so flippy flappy folio. Haven't put my flippy flappies on yet, but I do intend to show you how I'm going to cover it. And for this little flippy flappy, I'll give you a clue. I painted her this morning just to see if I could actually paint her. Yeah, she is hopefully a gorgeous girl. And I have some papers that Mr. F, I don't know where he comes across things. I think he bought a load of Tim Holtz stuff and this Gorjuss Girls stuff was in there. And I think I must have almost a complete pad of it. I've got loads of it. So, yeah, there she is, the little Gorjuss girl. So I'm going to try and use some up and cover my little flippy flappy with it. So I think it comes in 4 colourways, sort of a burgundy, a blue, a green and a dark purple colour. So I'm going to use all of those because I've got 4 panels on my flippy flappy, so I'm going to use 1 per flip. So I'll just show you how I do it. I'm sure you all know, but don't forget, before you lose patience with me, that there are always newbies, there are always beginners, and it's good to include them too, so as they know what to do. So what I'm doing is, let's move that out of the way. I'm just taking my paper and I'm offering it up. This is the small piece. This is the piece that we cut at 3.5. So I'm offering my paper up just to where I want it to be. And I want it to have a little border all the way around it. So you can just see that. And then I'm going to mark on my paper, allowing the same border that I've allowed on the other side. Put a pencil mark there. And then here, just coming down, the same sort of border there. And then I need to trim it off. So I didn't know which trimmer to try, to be honest. I can never get any of them to cut straight. But I'll give this one a go. It's my Caterpillar Crop, this one's called. I do have a Caterpillar Pro. So I'll give this a try. And hopefully that's straight. It doesn't look exactly straight, but we'll see. And then just where I made that other mark, I need to cut it. There we go. Keep all your remnants because we'll be decorating this and they'll come in useful. So let's just see what that looks like, if it is straight, anything like straight. Oh, it is. It is straight. Excellent. Maybe that's what I need to do. Take time when I'm doing things, because I'm always hurrying, and that's when mistakes happen, isn't it? Now I'm just going around with the ink, not to ink the actual paper, just to ink that white pulp part, the middle part of the paper, so it doesn't stand out. Then glue it. I'm using Collal glue, which is available here in the UK. I know in the US it's expensive, and I think it's probably similar to your Beacon 3-in-1. I don't like Fabri-Tac at all. I have no time for Fabri-Tac. It's smelly. I don't think it does a very good job, to be honest with you. So I much prefer my Collal. And the good thing about Collal is it allows you just a little bit of wriggle time. So place that down exactly where you want it. With the Collal, you can just readjust it a little bit, like that. That's fine. And I did drop some glue on this page, which I'm just going to pick up. It will be glued over, but I don't want to stick my hand in it. And then I'm going to go around the edge, and I'm going to push inwards. Don't just push down, because you'll push the glue out, then you'll wish you hadn't. So just go around it, pushing inwards. Like that. Around all 4 sides. That's lovely. And just leave that. It'll set up nicely on its own. I've known me at times take a brayer. I've got a little brayer around here somewhere that I take to papers sometimes. But actually, you're asking for trouble if you think about it, because you put pressure on there. The glue's got to go somewhere, so it'll come out, and you know, then it's not great. With the collal, if it does, get yourself one of these rubber glue erasers, is what they're called. And if you've got any bits that come out, you can get it off with this. I don't know about other glues, so I can't tell you. Right, so I'm going to go for green next up. And it's exactly the same. Just allow yourself a little margin and mark it. And just make sure that's where you want it. And a little margin on the top. There we go. And we'll trim that off again. So we'll get that lined up. Let's see if I can see where my mark is on this side. Yeah, there it is. Oh, I think that's it there. I'm just being careful when I cut. I want them to be accurate. Let's just check that this is okay for size. Perfect. Goodness me, what's going on? What on earth is going on? Don't know, but I like it. So just around the very edge of my paper. You might want to distress yours more. You know, if you're doing Timmy or some grungy type thing. Excellent. Go ahead and grunge it till your heart's content. I like a bit of grunge. So same thing, glue this. And I'm just going to work my way across all of the panels. I'll show you what I do when it comes to the spine. It's the same sort of thing really, but there we go. I do like these stripes. I'm rather fond of a bit of a stripe myself. So that's going in there. So same thing, just press it inwards. All the way around. And there we have it. Whew, shaping up nicely already, isn't it? Okay, so now I'm going to take the next colour I'm going to use is blue. So I don't want that or that, so I'm going to take my darker one, the burgundy colour I think, and make my spine out of that. Oh yeah, actually I might just make all my spines out of this. It's up to you. You can use a separate card completely if you want to. So just leaving a similar border to the ones we've already left. It's just a bit high there, and cut that across there. Put the glue on my lid on my glue even. Yeah, I think what I'll do is cut the top off this. Then I've got a piece that's the right height for all my spines, or even if I wanted to use it as a block. So cut that off there. That's fairly accurate. And then I'm just going to cut this single spine out. So it's the same thing, just line your mark up like that, and you just get a skinny little bit. Isn't it amazing how quickly you start accumulating remnants? Started off with nice sheets of paper, now I've got bits of it everywhere. So I'm just going to, well, let's make sure it fits first. Yeah, that's good. That's great. So I'm just going to go around the edges quickly. Let's take that white edge off it. There we go. And for this I'm not going to use Collal, simply because the nozzle on my glue it's too wide really. I get too much glue down. So I'm going to use one of my fine tip applicators with my EVA glue in it. I mean, use PVA if that's what you use. If you're happy with that, it's fine. I'm just telling you at this stage what I use, because I get asked those questions so often. You know, which glue do you use, which trimmer do you use? So I just cover all those questions as I'm going. So this I'm just going to stick there, keep it in between those two score lines that are now inked, and take that up there like that. Oops. There we go. Lovely. Now then, I'm going to carry on continuing to put my papers just as I've shown you everywhere, and I'll come back at the end and show you what we've got. Right, so I've stuck all my papers on. They look very attractive, I think. They're quite dark and I quite like that actually. And all on this side, including the spines, but not the front cover. When this is all folded up like so, this will be the front. And it might be an idea actually when you do it to write front on there and know that not to cover it until the next step. And the next step is taking your Flippy Flappies that we've already cut, and the 6.5 one gets stuck down, and the 5.5 one for that matter, before we stick the backing paper on. So this needs to get stuck onto there. But if you want to decorate it, now is the time to do it. It's much easier to decorate this piece of card when it's loose like this than when it's actually stuck onto there. So let's just set this aside for a moment. And Mr. F came back from the charity shop with this. It says A4 decoupage pack, and it's obviously in the Gorjuss range. I haven't had a good look through it, what's in it. Okay, I see some frames and some bits of paper and some pictures of our gorgeous girl. How lovely, she is gorgeous. And this must be the decoupage, I think. Right. Okay, so I'm not au fait with decoupage. I haven't got a clue actually how you do it. But it must be simple, mustn't it? So this says A1 and this says A2. So my guess is that A2 goes on top of A1. Oh, but we've got an A3 as well. We've also got an A4. Right, okay. I don't know whether you have to build them up, you know, put them on sticky pads. I'm not sure. Here we have another one here. This is B1, B2, B3, B4. Is that it? Yeah, I think so. So that's that. Those are oh, we've got more decoupage. Her on a swing and her standing there with a little pull toy, I think, on a lead, or it could, yeah, it's got wheels. You tend to find that cats and dogs generally don't have wheels, so I'm guessing that's a little toy. Some more papers. and this, which looks very similar to that. In fact, it's the same. Small little remnants that whoever was using this has kept. And that one we've already looked at. That's the A one. She's already used the A part. Good to see. And this is the back bit here. Right, so I want to see if either one of those decoupage bits will fit on this. So let's have a look. Oh, not so sure actually. No, it won't. And I don't suppose she will either. No. Oh, that's a shame, that's a shame. Will she, the girl on the swing? You know, she just might. She just might. Let's take her out then. Let's make like we're actually going to do something here. I'm sure a lot of you that used to make cards and stuff are watching me thinking, she hasn't got a clue. Well, you're right, I haven't got a clue. Not a clue. But, you know, I'm a paper crafter. How hard can it be? Right, so that's... Oh, look at that. She fits perfectly. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, in fact. So I want her on some sort of background. I don't just want her floating free like that. And oh, I've got really gluey fingers. And somewhere, was it in my pile of papers? I had some sort of a creamy one. Or something just a bit different from all the stripes, perhaps. These are like damask, they're gorgeous. That's nice. Much lighter, isn't it? I'll leave. Oh, and that's the one I was thinking of. That damask one. Right. Let's see if I can find somewhere to put these. So I guess she would probably look quite nice on there. Yeah, she does. But would she look quite nice on there? Doesn't stand out quite so much on there. This is a lighter corner. I quite like that. I think it's more in keeping. We haven't introduced any of this cream yet, so I'll keep that for a later date. Right, so now what I want to do is cut out, you know, fit the whole piece of paper. So I'm going to do it as I've done it before, just allowing a little border around it, not much, just a little border there, and it'll be easier doing it that way, I think. A little border all around and cut that there. Blimey, I haven't left myself much room to mark it. There we go. Okay, so let's cut this then. There's some nice ones though, isn't there, of the decoupage. Maybe I'll be able to get them into the journal somewhere else. Well, folio, it's not really a journal, is it? It's a little folio. But I am going to show you a way that you can introduce a journal if you want to. There we go. Right, I just need to see where my other mark is. Yeah. Oh, I can see it. My goodness. I have to make that a bit heavier so as I can stand a chance. I'm going to have to see if this fits actually, because I couldn't really see that last one. Let's have a look and see. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so I'm going to round the two corners, same as I rounded the card itself, with the 1/4 inch. So just two corners. like that. And then I can just give that a quick ink. I'm just going to check this again. Yeah, I always do that, like round corners, or I ink it and I try it again. I mean, what's going to have changed? Nothing. I don't know why I do that, but I do. There we go. So pop this in place and then we'll contemplate what we're going to do on the back of this piece. And you can make your flaps wider if you want to, which might allow you to, you know, you have more room for things then if you want to. So let's just pop this on. Lovely, that's great. Just move it up a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Lovely. So before I start putting my lady on the front, I'm just going to see what I think I want on the back. Well, that's very nice actually. Put it on the back. What else have I got? I've got all those gorgeous damask ones. I might just use the cream, you know. I think that might just be my best bet. So let's just cut that off at the width that I want it, which is there. And then I'm just using this straight edge because it's easier to mark to get my height. There we go. So trim that one out. Oops, not straight at the top. It doesn't look straight either. Let's try that. Try that for size. Didn't cut the other one. Oh well, I can use the little Timmy trimmer for that. Oh. Don't know why I keep knocking this. Do it again. There we go. Right. So let's just cut off the two corners on the 1/4 inch one. See if that fits, which hopefully it will. Yes, that's perfect. Just give it a bit of an ink. There we go. So I'm just going to stick this down into place before we start building the girl. Oh my goodness. I'm pretty sure it's got to be up on tape. I think it's got to be. So I need to search for my dimensional tape. There we are, that's great. Marvellous. So that's that one done. That's that flap finished, really, because you're not going to see that. Let's just go down there with a bit of ink. Right, so let's have a look then at the problem in hand. So we've got her, who fits really rather nicely there. And what next? Well, this is A2. So this has got to be the next bit, hasn't it? Surely logic would tell me. It's all very nicely kiss cut. So that's going to go there. There, I reckon. So yeah, that's got to be put up on tape, I think. Oh my goodness me. I'm racked in the nerve department. Let's stick this down. It's either right or it's wrong. It's a bit of paper at the end of the day. I mean, if they all have to be stuck up, I don't know how many layers there is. So it's going to be about a foot tall. Well, not a foot, but, you know. Okay. So, little girl, there you are. Oops. Lovely. There she is on a swing with a pussycat on her lap. Right, so I'm going to have a look for some of that dimensional tape. Don't think I've got it out. So I'm guessing it's in this drawer here. Yeah, that's quite fat. Is that dimensional tape? Yeah, and that's quite thin. Excellent. So I need to work out where I need to put this. I'm going to put some fat stuff on her head. I don't know why that amused me, it just did. Shall I put it like that, or shall I put two pieces across like that? Yeah, maybe that would be better. Piece there. Get rid of that. Stick into my scissors. Stick into me. There we go. And can I get one fat piece down there? I can, you know. So let's put that down there. And then some skinny bits. I don't know if you need this much, actually, to be honest, but I think that one's not as fat, not as puffed up. Oh well. Actually, it's coming into my mind. I'm sure I used to see people decoupaging and sort of shaping the pieces before they put them down. Yeah, well, I haven't done it. This is too big for here. Let's just put some little pieces down. And it'll hold it off the back, so it'll be alright. I'm sure other people have much more sophisticated ways of doing this. I'm sure they do. But you know. It's very sticky. Oh, it's gone very humid here. I haven't been out for my walk today, so I hope it doesn't start raining. Right, so that's that. I don't think you can see any from the front. So let's take the the backing off. Oh, this could become tedious. Oh my goodness, that is so sticky. Right, I've saved you. I've saved you what feels like endless hours of putting this little gorgeous girl together. But I have her together now. I think she looks really, well, gorgeous, really. I quite like it. There's a bit of depth there, as you can see. But head on, she looks really, really nice. So now we just need to attach these to our folio. And spread this out just to make it easier. Because I've put her on the large one, because she would only fit on the large one, I'm going to put that, the 6.5 one, at the left-hand side of the page. And then I'm going to put the other two, the 5.5 and the 4.5, like that, on this side. But I'll show you that in a sec. First thing we need to do is glue this flap down. Glue our Flippy Flappy. I mean, you do need some Flippy Flappies if you've called the thing a Flippy Flappy Folio. Right, so historically I don't measure this, I just guess it. And usually I'm not that far out. I think that looks okay to me. So you want the spine as far over, the fold, the crease, as far over into that spine as you can without it kind of being in the spine. So if you fold that over like that, you'll see that is really far over, but not over the spine. I'll just get my Timmy towel out. Press that down. Lovely. Oh, she hasn't stuck yet. That's not good. Get the bone folder. That's probably what's needed. Stick her down. This paper is thicker than any paper really that I work with, and it does have a bit of a mind of its own. So that's that there. Ah, the beauty of collal. It just balls up and rubs off. It's fabulous stuff. It's got a little bit there that's resistant, so let's take my glue rubber to it. I think my glue rubber's dirtier than the thing. There we go, that's fine. So now I want the 5.5 one, and I'm going to stick that down there. There we go. So I'm literally just going to stick that somewhere where I think it might go. Then fold that over and then even it up. And actually, that's a pretty good guess. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with myself about that. That's okay. So let's stick that down. That's going to give it a couple of seconds because it seems to need that. Whoops. I covered the other two pieces while I was paused. You know how to do it, so there's no need to watch me. Lovely. Let's see if that's stuck. I think it has. There we go. Right, so the next, once you've got your 6.5 and your 5.5 on, then you need to put your paper in. So I've already cut a piece out that I think is the right size, and it would appear that it is. Just check it's not hampering these two closing, which it isn't. You don't want to leave too big a gap, but you do want to make sure that it's going to close without curling your sides up or anything. Which if it's even just a millimetre too wide, it'll do that. And, you know, then it'll be stuck down and it's a curse, really. So I'm looking forward to decorating this with Gorjuss Girl. She is not the type of thing that I usually use. Oh, this has got text on it there, so I need to make sure I've got that the right way up. None of the other papers have been directional, but this piece is. Text in the background. So it always pays to check. There we go. So where's my text? That's the right way up. Drop this into place. Just like that. Marvellous. Get my Timmy towel. Lovely. So these now both fold in nicely, and now I need to stick this one. Oh, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have put this paper on. This needs to get stuck on first before you put that paper on. So let that be a lesson to you. I made more than my fair share of mistakes today. Yeah, because that one sticks there and you don't want to see this. So you stick that onto there, then you put your paper on. So I need to stick that on and then put another piece over. Oh well, you can't win them all. I'll see you when I've done that. Right, so I've put glue down that flap, and we're going to pop this on here centrally. By eye will do, unless your eyes are really squint. In which case you might want to measure it, but that's fine. That looks like centre to me. So pop that on like that, and then this shouldn't be on there, and then we come along with our paper and we stick it over there. So I'm going to stick this piece on over the errant piece. That'll teach me for not concentrating, won't it? It is funny, I've said this to Mr. F before. You'd think that, you know, all the times well, particularly this Flippy Flappy, I've made it loads of times. But, you know, just paper crafting in general, you'd think that you would know how to measure and cut and whatever. But it is amazing how much you need to concentrate. Obviously, I wasn't concentrating when I was doing this. So I'm just going to put that over that other piece. And nobody will ever know, apart from all you guys. So there we are. That's that piece on. You can't see the piece underneath it. It doesn't make a difference. So there we go. It's just sticking out a little bit, that's it. There we go. So that folds over there like that. I'll just give it a little bone folder, but when they're dry, it really does need quite a good bone foldering, and that goes to there. So let's put the lid on there. So our Flippy Flappy is taking shape. So there we have it. There's the front, the little girl on, and that'll have the closure will be attached to this Flippy Flappy, so that will hold it nicely in place. Then it opens up and you've got one flap, two flaps, and we'll decorate this piece here. And then we've got all of this inside to decorate. This is where I normally put my waterfall. I'm debating whether I want to do that or not. I don't know. You'll have to wait and see. But yeah, that's it. The start of the decoration. It looks quite nice, doesn't it? I like that paper. And I like our little Gorjuss girl. She's gorgeous. I've said that before. Anyway, there we have it for today. I hope that you can get up to this stage with whatever papers you're using. And then join me again when we start to decorate it. And things get really interesting. Although they're pretty interesting today. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you all soon. Bye.